No nonsense gin drinking. All gin and a surprising amount of nonsense.
Hello gin lovers, welcome back. I'm Bobby Freeman and join me on what is quite a rare event here in the UK. It's actually quite a warm day. Not warm by Asian standards and, in the same way that when I say it's a cold day, it's not cold by, Canadian standards. I have a lot of followers from around the world and they always laugh at me when I get stressed out at extremes of temperature. However, it's very, very warm today, so I might have I must apologise, because I may at some point develop a slight sheen across me, which will develop a reflection and may blind you, and I think I'm talking about this a little bit too long, but I just wanted to warn you. In fact, I have come up with an idea to combat this. I filled my water bottle with a lovely load of ice in there, so I'm going to try and drink the entire thing right down with a view and a hope to sort of cooling myself from the inside. So let's go, see if I can do it. And I shall set it all to music. It'll be spectacular. Jeez, there's more than I thought in there. Shit, it got on my teeth. I've just had the filling done. Ah! Okay, all right. I didn't quite drink as much as I would have liked to have done, but I think hopefully that will do the trick. As I've said before, you do not get this sort of thing on other YouTube channels. Anyway, my friends, let me introduce you to today's gin, because I've been fanning around and you've been sitting here very patiently wondering what on earth is this gin. Will you bloody well tell us, Freeman? Well, I shall do that now. This, my friends, is Hepple Gin. Now, I've never heard of this one before, but I tell you what a very, very handsome looking bottle it has. I think sometimes you shouldn't be able to tell, but I think sometimes you can just tell by the bottle. You can tell because there's a bit, there's kind of a personality put into the bottle. And I don't know if that's the case. It might not be the case, but I'm usually right on this. So judging by the bottle, it's kind of a cool sort of Art Deco. I'll give you a closer look. Look at that. Oh my God, isn't it beautiful? It's like sort of like an Art Deco-y kind of bottle. Looks like it could be kind of fresh, maybe a bit refreshing, maybe actually something to cool you down on a hot day. Anyway, we could speculate about that all day, my friends. However, I don't think I'm going to don't think I'm going to gain many viewers by purely speculating. Or maybe I should, I don't know, would that work on YouTube? Speculation, no nonsense speculation. Honestly, sometimes I wonder why I've got any subscribers at all. I talk an absolute load of old bollocks. Anyway, let's plough on regardless, shall we? Find out a little bit about it on the website, shall we? Located within the eastern edge of Northumberland National Park, our estate and distillery are where England's cleanest waters, most ancient juniper and the wildest winds meet. I'm not sure, how they got clarification on the level of wildness of those winds, but I think we'll take the word for it. Wild ponies, Highland cows, and famed black-haired pigs. Famed black-haired pigs. I've never known. I couldn't mention a famous black-haired pig off the top of my head, but I don't know, I don't live in the north of England. Maybe that's what celebrities are like in the north. Famed black-haired pigs roam the estate, churning up hardened soil so that wild seeds can take hold. Introduced as part of our wilding programme, I've actually got a wilding programme in our garden. It's a patch at the end of the lawn which has grown completely over and got out of control, and I can't be asked to cut it down, so I just tell Narissa it's my wilding project. A natural regeneration aiming to bring back and conserve the wild plants that were once so distinctive to this place. You know what? Next time Narissa has a go at me about that patch, I'm going to say exactly that. Well, that all sounds good. Let's find out about the botanicals, shall we? Because this, my friends, is quite a mix. Get a load of this. So green juniper and Macedonian juniper. Now, that's the first time I've ever known two different types of juniper from different places used in one gin. I don't know if any, Macedonian juniper is better than green juniper, but, well, I guess we'll find out. Douglas fir, blackcurrant leaves and black currants, lovage, Amalfi lemon, coriander seeds, fennel seeds, orris root, licorice, and angelica. Now then, black currants is an interesting one because very, very rarely do you get black currants in a gin. We had that Tanqueray blackcurrant one, something blackcurrant royale or something, but that was kind of, I described that as kind of a novelty gin. It was all purple and everything, but this seems like a little bit more intelligent to me. But so you've got black currants and lemons in there, so blimey. This is shaping up to be quite something. So I think we've reached the point in the video, my friends, where we say, well, I've chatted enough waffle. In fact, some people often say I've chatted too much waffle by this point. However, I'm not taking it back. It's all out there. The waffle's out there. Once the waffle is out there, you cannot take it back. I think that makes sense. Anyway, let's crack on with it, get the top off and get it in the mouth. Now then, guys, before we go any further, let me tell you about the wonderful, wonderful product and sponsor of this show, which is ZBiotics. Now, my regular viewers probably know by now what these are, but if you don't, if you're not a regular viewer, these, my friends, are pre-alcohol probiotic drinks, and they are a game changer. So you take the top off like this. It's quite pleasing, actually. It's quite a nice little sort of feeling. It goes That noise is, of course, optional, but you take one of these amazingly beautiful, looks kind of futuristic and cool, doesn't it? Something out of I don't know, some futuristic film. What's that one? Blade Runner, yeah. So you take the top off one of these, drink it down before you go out, and the next day you will be feeling fantastic a lot quicker than you usually do. And the good news is, if you use the link below this video, my friends, you will be getting 15% off your first order. So don't delay, head over to Zbiotics via that link today. And indeed, we have a hell of an absolute behemoth of a cork in there. So we know what that means, my friends. It is the bit that everybody loves. Well, most people anyway. It's the cork test. The cork test. So do we have a squeak? No squeak at all, just the rustling of the remnants of the plastic bit on there. Let's go for the full pull, shall we? Here we go. Oh my word, did you hear that, my friends? A terrifyingly loud, almost reminiscent of the wild winds of the Northumberland. Was it Northumberland National Park? I think it was, yeah. Anyway, I think we're getting a bit descriptive on that because, if it sounds like wild winds, then great. But if it doesn't, then, don't really care. But of course, it doesn't really matter. I've run out of breath. I better say this quick. It's just a bit of fun. So, my friends, luckily, Narisha has polished up this table with a bit of Mr. Sheen. Other table polishes are available, which enables me to slide the gin around. No particular purpose to that, but I quite enjoy it. So, and again, this is much like the Jenny's Maze gins. This has a lovely sort of splayed out top, which is always very good for pouring. Usually means you don't spill a drop. Look at that! Beautifully clean. I like that very much. So, let's go in for a bit of a sniff, shall we? Here we go. Oh, my friends. Oh, my friends, assuming you are my friends, and I feel like you're my friends, so I'm going to treat you like my friends and call you my friends. Oh, my friends, that is exactly how you would like a gin to smell, but then a little bit of an extra bonus treat as well. It smells basically like a core gin, first of all. It's definitely, straight away you know this is not a novelty gin. It's got everything in perfect kind of balance, but there's something kind of slightly, it's like a sort of a standard core gin that's been tweaked a little bit, kind of expertly. You've got really kind of strong citrus in there and very, very unmistakably lemony citrus as well. So, oh my God, but it's kind of almost sort of a sizzling lemoniness. I always struggle with that word, lemoniness. It kind of sizzles. You get a sort of a citrus lemony sizzle around the nasal passages, and that could only be a good thing. But there's also a kind of sort of an earthy, almost woodiness in there as well, just sort of a wafting around below the citrus. But it smells pretty strong as well. What's the ABV? Let me just spin it round and have a look, shall we? Yeah. 45%, my friends. I tell you what, this is not a gin for the faint-hearted. I like the sound of that. And that also puts me in mind of the number 3 gin. I think it's just out of shot over there. That one was 46%. Now, that when gins hover around that mark, not quite up to the Navy strength level yet, but certainly a lot more than the 40 and 42 we usually see, that is usually a sign of absolute bloody excellence. So I am very excited for this one. So excited I went extremely high pitched there, which is something I do sometimes. Anyway, my friends, let us fanny around no longer. Let's swap those round and let's get, actually no, they were the right way around. Let's keep them that way round and introduce the tonic. So here we go. This tonic is a little bit flat, but to be honest, it doesn't really matter. I've been quite enjoying flat tonic recently, actually. And originally, tonic, of course, was flat anyway and devoid of bubbles. That was only added later by, I don't know, probably Mr. Schweppes or something, I don't know. And then later copied and improved, of course, by Mr. Fevertree. Don't know if there's a Mr. Fevertree. There's a lot of waffle in this video today. Let's stop fanning around. Thank you to all my patrons and members who are supporting this show, throwing a few pennies my way every month and supporting me and helping me to keep going. They're paid for all the gins on this show. You are all gentlemen, scholars, and very nice people. And this is Hepple Gin. I say to every last one of you, cheers. Oh my giddy aunt. That's another phrase that doesn't get used very often these days. Oh my giddy aunt. Wait, how the hell did... Anyway, forget my giddy aunt. I'll talk about her later. Oh my God, gin lovers. Oh my goodness. That... Wow. Let me try it. It's a good gin when I need just come out with oh my goodness, oh God, wow. However, I must try and condense it into the English language for you. That is, oh my goodness. We've been having some brilliant gins recently, but this, wow. Let me start from the beginning. So I'm getting a sense of it's a real kind of refreshing-y sort of almost greeny, piney sort of sense, but only a touch of the pininess because, pine can, I think some can go a bit too far in the pines, but this is in just a beautifully expertly kind of delivered portion, and it really just sort of wakes you up as soon as you taste it. And then almost immediately afterwards, there's this sense of a real kind of strong, much like in the aroma, a strong lemony citrus, but kind of full-bodied and kind of with depth. A sort of a citrus, a sort of a deep, depthy citrus, if that makes any sense. But those two things are not separated. They're kind of married and as one, and just sort of balanced and melded. It's like they've just clicked together, and they just absolutely sing in a lovely, perfect harmony. That's so nice. But then a kind of a lurking, just sort of flowing and wallowing underneath the surface, just beneath the others, is a sense of sort of the black currant is used very, as I hoped it would be when I read about it in this. It's kind of what am I trying to say? It's lurking just underneath the surface, and they've only used it very, very sparingly. There's a tiny hint of it, almost undiscernible if you didn't know what it was, but it kind of gives a body to it, and then it sort of offsets those sort of fresh and zesty kind of flavours absolutely wonderfully. And then just kind of as you swallow, you're left with this sort of a slight touch of woodiness and almost sort of earthiness as well in there, and it's kind of really, again, there's a sort of a real sort of multi-layered sort of experience here with this, but multi-layered that works. It was like they were meant to be together. That, my friends, that is one of the best gins I've tried this year. So then, let's try it neat, shall we? Let's employ my sliding over on the freshly polished table. Let's employ my amazingly wonderful and highly desirable no-nonsense gin drinking mug, of which you could be an owner if you click on that bit below there, below the screen, where it says, I don't know, mug or something. So now this, as I say, is quite a strong gin. Okay, so let's see what this is like neat. Here we go. Oh, wow, that's a real different animal, to be honest. It's kind of, oh my God, the freshness really sings here. So I can still feel it, even though I swallowed it. It's kind of clinging to the roof of the mouth in just a slightly sort of cold way, but cold and refreshing, and really kind of just, it's like it's clearing the airways. It's a really kind of tingles, and kind of you can feel that burn of the extra ABV. I've held a little bit in my mouth now, and it's really kind of growing now. That works fantastically. If I had to choose, I'd probably stick with the gin tonic, as I usually do. However, my neat gin drinkers, that is going to be a real treat for you guys as well. There's a lot going on, there's a lot happening, and it's really kind of multi-layered and really kind of a fascinating gin. So all my neat gin drinkers out there, you are going to love this. Now, in terms of price here in the UK, when they're lesser known gins, not on the mainstream level, I like to say between 30 and 40 pounds. This one comes in just underneath 40 pounds, and it's a good size 70cl bottler as well. And to be honest, I think that's bang on. It's sort of at the top end of what I like to pay, but I don't mind going to that top end if it's something exceptional. And that, my friends, genuinely is. So guys, to sum up today, I knew nothing about this gin. This is what I like to do all sorts, I review all sorts of gins on this show, but occasionally I really love delving into a gin that I know very little about, and then hopefully being pleasantly surprised. And my friends, oh my God, we have unearthed a treasure that I did not know existed, but I do now. It's there, right next to me. Look, I'm touching it. It really was a kind of a journey, and so many it's completely multifaceted as well. Don't think I've ever tried a gin that has so many levels and complexities, but also uses them so well, and they work so well. The end result is so brilliant. So that, my friends, if you see this, I'm not sure if it's available all around the world yet, I don't know, but when it inevitably gets to you, or if you visit the UK, this one, my friends, if not at least just to have an absolutely beautiful kind of specimen on your shelf, it truly is. It's not only a beautiful specimen, it's a wonderful gin as well. So if you see this one, I'm telling you now, this is a must. This is definitely going to rank high in my top 10 at the end of the year. So guys, hope you enjoyed that one today, a new gin. Hope I've educated you in something you didn't know before, or bored you by waffling on at the beginning. There's plenty of people that fall into that category. However, whatever category you are in, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Press the like button on the video, that's very important as well. And what's even more important is if you go over to the Patreon page and become a supporter of the show, or you can also do this by clicking the join button below this video. But until next time guys, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Take care, stay safe. Thank you to all my patrons and members, and of course, keep drinking the gin.